Just put this on record and we'll start the class now. Start with the chanting, first with the Shanti part. Om Sahanatu Sahanau Punatu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Gananam Tva Ganapatigam Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamasravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Ana Shrimman Murti Siddh Sadhanam. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. And the Manglacharan for this current text. वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणामितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते. So, welcome everyone. We are starting this class on Tattwabodha. This is the 8th class, I think, in series. And we have been looking at this small text, Tattwabodha, by some people say Shankaracharya, some people say an unknown author. That is a beauty of the Indian tradition. There, people do not like to take credit for anything. Those who author such wonderful texts, and yet they have no name to it. But yes, we can guess Vasudevendra Yogindram. So that is the name of the guru of the person who is writing it. So now we are into the part about the uh, three sharirams, Sthul Sharir, Sukshma Sharir, and Karan Sharir. So Karan Sharir is what we are looking back. So just to revise a little bit of what we have seen so far, just share the text on screen and look it up. So we started with in the beginning with the first adhikari, the one who is qualified to enter this text, the study of the text, sadhan chatushtay sampann adhikari nam, moksha sadhan bhutam, tattva vivek prakaram vakshama. The one who is endowed with the fourfold qualifications, vivek, vairagya, mumukshutvam, and sham adi, shatka sampatti. So vivek, to discriminate between the permanent and the impermanent, vairagya, to give up all our addictions, mumukshutvam, the fears, the desire for liberation, and then Shamadi Shat Sampati, the six qualifications, the sixfold disciplines of the mind that allow us to focus our mind onto the text in question so that we are able to absorb the knowledge to the best of our ability. And then after defining that, we came to the crux of the text. What is Tattva Viveka? What is the true nature of this whole reality or the true nature of my own self? So the basic sentence on which the whole text is based is Atma Satya Tadanyat Sarvam Mithya Iti. The soul, the Atma is alone real. Atma, in fact, is the essence of everything. So that is indeed the reality. And everything else, everything that we perceive is unreal. So everything that we perceive is unreal is a very difficult thing to grasp. But when we study, we understand quickly that whatever we perceive is changing. जो भी हम देख रहे हैं वो change हो रहा है, परिवर्तित हो रहा है. So that means it will go into non-existence very soon. It will not appear. So anything that appears is appearing with a form. So that form is just a modification, just an appearance or a projection on the original self, and from that all things are appearing. So what is that Atma that we will discuss in later part, where we discuss the true nature of Atma, which is Sat Chit Anand Swarup that we have seen in bit short. Sat is the Atma is the center of reality. Everything proceeds from it. Everything that you can visualize, see, it comes from it. सब कुछ वहीं से निकल के आया है. All things exist due to it. Existence is its core essence. And then consciousness, all consciousness proceeds from it. Consciousness, infinite consciousness is its nature. And then Ananda, joy. The true joy is bliss, which is the joy of infinitude, knowing that nothing is outside me, so that there is nothing I need to possess. मुझे कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं चाहिए. So that knowledge helps us be free. When we learn our true nature, we stop running after the objects of the world, and then we tend to enjoy them in a more relaxed manner. We tend to live our lives like we are enjoying a movie. Everything is like a game, and we can go into it without any worries. So then Atma was defined, and besides the Atma, uh, what else is there? We said uh, there are these 11 components: Sthul, Sukshma, and Karan Sharir. Then Panch Kosh, the five koshas, the five layers of personality, and then Avastatraya, the three states of our existence, right? So of that, we have seen the Sthul Sharir is the gross body, which is made of the five great elements, Panchikrit, Panch Mahabhutai Kritam, and Sat Karma Janyam. The efficient cause for that is the actions or karmas that we do in our all the janmas that have come before us, the ones that are ripe for bearing fruit, we call that prarabdha karma. Those are ready to be enjoyed in this current birth of ours, right? So Panchikrit, Panchamahabhuta, Kritam, Satkarma, Ganyam. So one is the material cause from which something is made, just like the mud is made into a pot. And the second is the efficient cause, the conscious part, that is in the case of the pot, it is the potter who makes the pot. So these are the two causes of this body that has appeared for us. And then again, Sukshma Shariram, we saw 17 components. It consists of the Mana, Buddhi, the mind and intellect, the five Jnanendriyas, the five sense organs of knowledge, then the five Karmendriyas, the five organs of action, and the five Pranas, right? So, पांच ज्ञानेंद्रिय चक्षु श्रोत्र रसना चक्षु श्रोत्र रसना त्वचा and gandha, smelling power. So all of these five are the five sense organs. Each of them has a corresponding sense object also. We saw that. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, the five sense objects. So all these have a one-to-one relationship. Each sense organ can perceive one sense object. And so that one-to-one relationship means the ears can only hear, they cannot taste, and so on. That we have seen. So I've just revised this whole part for you. And then each of them has a corresponding devta associated with them. All the indriyas, all of them are shakti, powers. So they are only a part of the total power, right? So that part of the total power functions through us. And then the devta represents the full potential of that power. It represents the full power. So so if the devta for Shrotra is Dig Devta, the devta of the directions, then the hearing power has a Dig Devta which is able to hear. That Devta is able to do the hearing through all ears. He is present in all the ears. So that is his range. His range is much wider than us. Devtas have a larger range of experience than human beings or any other beings. And so in this way, all of the five Jnanendriya, all of the five Karmendriya, they have their own devtas. which are the total potential for that. So now, uh, having seen the two main bodies, the Sukshma Sharir and Sthul Sharir, now we were looking at the Karan Sharir. So just to revise quickly, what is this Karan Sharir? Sharir represents the causal body. It represents the unmanifest part of our reality, which existed before this body came into being. So that includes all our vasanas in a unified homogeneous form. So in that, uh, just like ignorance cannot have many parts, right? If there is ignorance about a certain subject, you cannot divide it into certain types of ignorance. Similarly, this way, this ignorance is a one homogeneous mass where everything is totally in a state where you cannot distinguish. Just like the thoughts, the vrittis, they are separable in the mind. The mind can have lots of thoughts running through it, each of them connected, some disconnected, and so on. They will appear one by one whenever the mind focuses. At any time, the mind can only hold on to one thought. Hmm. And then they all come in simultaneously. Sometimes they come so quickly simultaneously, they appear as one, but they are never more. So now this Karan Sharir represents the causal body from which the gross body and the subtle body have come. So this subtle body and gross body, they need something to be their cause. So that cause is this Karan Sharir, the causal body. The Karan Sharir is the body which contains all the impressions that we have had in all our janmas, and then the ones that they are right, they come to the surface, and then when time comes, they are ready to be expressed. Then the uh, gross body appears along with the subtle body, right? The subtle body, it carries through all our birth. Uh, So the subtle body carries through all of our births. So whenever death occurs, what happens? We saw death is the detachment of the subtle body from the gross body. So it is not like we say Atma. Atma doesn't leave the body. It is the Sukshma Sharira which leaves the body. So the subtle body leaves the gross body, and when they separate, death occurs. The five elements from which the gross body is made up of, they merge back again into the five elements only, right? And then the causal body is the cause of the subtle body. It contains all the impressions. So from that, the causal body, from that causal body, the subtle body emanates. And so the causal body, the subtle body, of course, will continue through all our births. The causal body will remain at all times, even during pralayam. When there is total cessation of the universe, even at that time, the causal body will retain the information out of which again this series of births and deaths will start. So once there is pralayam, which is the time when we say Brahmaji goes to sleep, or when this world goes back into unmanifest state, everything is in unmanifest state, right? When it is in unmanifest state, then from that again, when the next creation arises, all the jivatmas, all the individual beings which are there in the causal state, so they come into manifestation. So this causal state is very much hidden. It is never appearing before us. It appears only in parts, right? So it is like our deep subconsciousness. It is like our deep subconsciousness where all the layers of this of our personality are hidden, and some of them come to the top. So they are available for experience. So it's just like we dig something in the earth and some of the layers come on top. Or so in this way, whenever something is right, so it is like a deep ocean at the top of which the thoughts that are ready to be experienced, they come and are available for experience. So we just look at it again, anirvachya. So anirvachya represents the fact that we cannot in any way describe, because ignorance is something that cannot be put into words. There is no way of saying what is the ignorance of a particular subject. Today I am learning quantum science. But then again, before that, what was my ignorance of it? It is a singular word of ignorance. Only that I don't know. What I don't know, I cannot tell at that time. It is only when I gain that knowledge, then that knowledge is available for perception. So in this way, we can never define ignorance. Huh? So just like it is in the way of something is the material cause of another object, then we can never say that what that material object is capable of making until the object is manifest. Just like mud, from mud, you can manifest a pot, you can manifest a plate, you can manifest a spoon, or whatever utensils, or even images, murtis you can make out of it. So many things you can make, but they are all hidden within that. You can never say ki, what all is hidden within that. With that is only known to the intellect, to the buddhi of the one who will create these shapes, right? The one who will give these shapes. So it is the buddhi in which all of this information is there, for which the capacity to manifest anything from the current sharir is possible. So when we come, when our subtle body becomes ready to connect to a gross body, then this causal body gives us the information. It gives the information to the to the gross body and the subtle body by which they can function. So it is anirvachya because it is, we can never say it is real or unreal, right? So that is the definition. Uh, so here we have to remember again one of the first rules that I told you. Vedanta, we have logic where we have rules. So the first rule of Vedanta logic was that cause, it cannot be said if it is real or unreal. It is there, it is available for us to experience. But yet we cannot, yet it is not real because it will disappear. Uh, but that does not mean it is not there. It means that whether it is real or not, we call the term mithya, we use for it. Anirvachya is something that is mithya. So like the pot is mithya, the mud is real. The pot will go away after some time, mud will always remain. Right? So the substance is real, the shape is unreal. So in this way, we cannot explain the shape whether it exists or not. It is dependent for its existence on the original reality. So everything we say, we have seen logically also, everything comes from Atma only, from the soul or the essence only. From that essence, everything is born out. So everything is Atma only, right? So this Karan Shariram, this we call it Anirvachya because of this very reason that we cannot describe whether it is real or unreal. It is unreal, but it is dependent for its reality. It appears real because it is dependent for its reality on the soul or the Atma. Right? And so Anirvachya. So that is why there all in this current Shariram, all the thoughts are in homogeneous form. They cannot be separated from each other because there is no duality there. There the perceiver and perceived reality is not there. कोई जानने वाला और जानने वाली वस्तु नहीं है. When you are in a state of deep sleep, there is no one to tell what is being experienced. So whatever is experiencing is total lack of anything. We call it abhavakar vritti, the thought where nothing exists. There is no object of that thought, right? So in this current sharir also, nothing is being experienced. So like in science, they say at the time of the Big Bang, there is nothing is being, there is no information available. Why? Because everything is in a state of what they call a singularity. There is no two things present. So they say that information for that can never be attained. कभी भी नहीं जान सकते. Our name for that singularity is Karan Sharir or this Karan Sharir or the state of ignorance, right? So ignorance is our definition of that state, which we call the precursor to everything in the universe. So again, from our current Sharir, the bodies are born. From that Big Bang, the whole universe is born, right? So again, that is also an oscillatory state, we say. If it is a Big Bang, then again there'll be a big crunch or collapse. Again they will rise. Of course, crunch is not the exact word. In we say that everything will go into pralaya means there will be no separation, so only space will remain. So anirvachya, then anadi, because there is no beginning. There is no beginning to ignorance. Ignorance, you can never say what time it started. So that is why it is beginningless. That is why we have had countless janmas before to prior to this one. And so when this will end when we reach the level of knowledge. When we have the true knowledge of Atma. Once we do that, this cycle will end. That is why everything in this world is cyclic in nature. You can never tell where is the beginning point and ending point. So what came before the chicken or the egg, you can never tell. And so for everything, this is not about the chicken and egg. Everything in the universe, you go back to the cause of our father, the son, and his father, and so on. So nothing will have a definite end. Everything in this world is cyclic. That also means we should think again and again. That means nothing is real. Because if it were real, then we would be able to tell the beginning point. Right? This is the original starting point. So everything in this world we see is unreal because it has no starting or ending point. So Anadi represents that very uh, beginningless nature of everything in the nature, everything in the universe. And so Anadi and Avidya Rupam, it is of the nature of ignorance, right? So there no knowledge is present at that state, and in the state of the causal body, the Karan Sharir, no knowledge is present. And then Sharir Dvayasya Karan Matram. It is the cause of the two bodies. What are the other two bodies? Sukshma Sharir and Sthul Sharir, right? Sharir Dvayasya Karan Matram. And so it is the sole cause of these two because within the causal body are all the vasanas. So what are vasanas? Again, I'll repeat. Whenever we experience something, we form an impression in our mind. That is called a samskara, right? From that, but attached to every samskara is our likes and dislikes. That is called raga and dvesha. We have our like and dislike. So whatever is a like and dislike, that is stored in this in the mind, in the deeper layers of the mind. And when this body has ended, then it goes back into the total storehouse of our experiences. All those are stored as what we call vasanas. They are the hidden desires. And it is because of our hidden desires that we again take birth. Right? So when a time comes, there will come a stimulus for that vasana to appear. There will come a situation in the world where that vasana will appear. I explained with the method or with the example of the coffee. So if we have a coffee at a special place which has a really unique taste, so we go there, and when we first of all we develop what we call we have the first impulse by which we are able to think about. We develop the first impulse by which we think that yes, I want to have this coffee, right? And then that thought comes into the mind, and we make a plan that this is the time and date when we'll go and have that clothes. So once that plan is done, then the next part is then which we call actually we do the action of going to the place, right? Then we go, and if we have enough karma phalam, if we have enough money that we have earned in this case, then we can go and buy this. Otherwise, we cannot, right? So we must have that uh, uh, previous earnings in our life so that we can. So then we actually get to buy that coffee, and then we experience it. So when we experience it, that is called the karma phalam. So karma. So that karma phalam we attain, then we experience it. Then we call that experience is called bhoga. Then that experience gives us a impression in our mind, which we call the samskara. And then again, as I said earlier, this samskara is repeated is registered in our mind, in our deepest consciousness, as a vasana or as a hidden desire, which is tainted by our likes and dislikes. Hmm. So this whole cycle is an eightfold cycle. First of all is pravritti, where we have a tendency to do something, pravritti, that is followed by that is associated with the thought, sankalpa. I want to do this. Then that thought is again added to by the choices. Whenever we think we want to do something, I want to have coffee, which are the 10 places nearest to me, right? And then I finally decide which we call of all the options, which we call the vikalpa, we make a decision which is called the nischaya decision. From that decision we finally go to that place where we travel to that place, which is called the action of traveling, karma. And there we go and attain the object of our desires, and we experience it, which is called karma phala, which is bhoga. And then after that we have bhoga, the actual enjoyment of the object. And then that bhoga gives us an impression on our mind, which is samskara. If the impression is good, then it is raga. If it is negative, it is dvesha. So those two will develop a vasana, a tendency in our mind, a tendency towards that object, whether we want to experience it again or whether we don't want to experience. They can each be equally strong. And then finally, it is stored as a vritti or a thought in our deepest consciousness, which comes to the fore only when there is a contact with that sense object again. Or it is when there is a thought in my mind that I want to experience that again. So again, that cycle will start. So this goes again on and on and on and on, again this cycle. So everything we see that in this world that is cyclic, it will trap us in a circle where we keep coming to the world, enjoying these things, and then coming back again and again. So that is what the nature of this anirvachya anadi avidya rupam, that anadi uh, Karan Sharir, through which we are trapped into this world. When we give up our desires finally, that is when we learn that my true nature is infinite. I have nothing to desire for, everything is within me, nothing is outside of me. Then desire cease. And once desire cease, then we are liberated from this cycle. We no more want to take a birth to experience any other thing, right? No more experiences are needed for. This was just fun what I had in this life. The rest is all a game, and it will end when I know that my true nature is infinite. So in this case, when we are in the Karanavastha, we don't have this knowledge. So this knowledge that I'm talking about, the knowledge that I am infinite, there we have Sat Swarup Ajnanam. There we have Ajnanam or ignorance of Sat Swarup, my own true nature, my own nature of infinite existence that is not known to me. And therefore, Nirvikalpaka Rupam. So there, as he said, the thoughts are not separate. And Nirvikalpa, Vikalpaha is a thought, right? And so Nirvikalpaha, the thoughts are inseparable. In Karanavastha, in the causal state, the thoughts are not separate thoughts. There is one homogeneous mass of thoughts. So yad asti tat karan shariram. So whatever this was, this object that we have described, this thing we have described, is the karan shariram. So it is a bit, it is one of the tougher parts of Vedanta. But if we just for now I try to understand, the other parts will slowly catch on when we keep studying the text and we revise it. That there is within us a sum total of all our experiences, which is stored as tendencies in a deeper subconsciousness. All those tendencies, they exist in the unmanifest state, and they later become the cause for our further appearances in the world, for our further births in the world, whenever those tendencies mature or ripe, because every tendency takes time, right? Everything that we think, every impression, it takes time to come up again. The stronger impressions will come to the fore very quickly. Others will take their time. So this Karan Shariram becomes the cause for our appearance in the world. So now there we saw that in the text there are 11 anatmas, which we call not atma. So out of that, three we have seen: the Sthul Sharir, Sukshma Sharir, and Karan Sharir. So in the text, it is there we saw it firstly of the 11, Sthul, Sukshma, Karan Sharir, then Panch Kosha, the five koshas, and then the Avasthatraya. But in the text, maybe the author feels the Avasthatraya is more important. And also when we know that, we'll be able to describe the five koshas also more efficiently. So Avasthatraya will be coming first. What is the Avasthatraya? So the student is asking, right? Here we have we have to be very careful. Avastha Trayakim is the question of the student. So this text and most texts, most spiritual texts in our tradition, they are in the nature of question and answer. So Avastha Trayakim, what are the three states of our experience, right? So what are these three? The Jagrit, Swapna, Sushupti, Avastha, right? So the last part I've done very quickly. So now we'll go a bit slow because that was covered in the previous class. So just we had to just summarize the Karan Sharira. So now these are the three states through which we experience everything. Who is experiencing? The experiencer is the soul, the Atma, right? And that also we will learn later is not the directly the consciousness, but the reflected consciousness. The original consciousness is infinite, undivided into parts, inseparable. Hmm. When it is reflected by the mind, that is the reflected consciousness, and that is experiencing these. So what happens here is we will have to remember one very key word, one very beautiful word, due to which we are trapped in our current situation. That is called Abhimana. Abhimana, or in the text it is given as Abhiman, or we can also say Adhyas. Adhyas is superimposition. So because we see that functioning through us, see the consciousness functioning through us, through what? Us meaning this body. So we think we are this body. So because Abhimana represents that I think of myself as something when I'm actually not. Abhimana means I am mistaking my identity. My identity is mixed up. So when my identity is mixed up, then what happens? I become an enjoyer of something. And I become a doer of something. We call that karta and bhokta. We saw that earlier also. So I become a doer. So what is unique about this karta? This karta is the doer. So what happens in the daytime, whatever we do? Sometimes I'm eating food. Then what I am? I am the eater of food. That is the karta. Then sometimes I am writing something. So then at that time I am a writer. So all through our experience in the whole life, we become different kartas. So that means even sometimes for a few seconds only, one kind of karta remains. Sometimes it will remain for a longer period. So that karta, even though it may be existing for a smaller or larger period, it is always changing. So that means if it is always changing, that means it cannot be real, right? The karta, the ego sense we call it, ahamkar or ego is unreal. It is not real. What is real is the one who is watching this karta do with actions. That is the consciousness. The consciousness is watching this all the actions that are happening. So that is the witness. So that witness is the one that is observing all of this, right? So from here we had the first rule of Vedanta was the cause is always subtler than the effect. Karan कार्य से सदा सूक्ष्म होता है. So cause is always subtler than the effect. Just like the Karan sharir we cannot perceive. It is so subtle. So whatever is more subtle will be observed by or will be perceived by lesser number of sense organs. कम इंद्रियों से गोचर होगा. So if something is gross, what is the grossest element? Prithvi. So Prithvi is perceived by all five sense organs. Then again, Next is what? Next is Jala. Jala is perceived by four sense organs. So Jala, Prithvi has Shabd, Sparsha, Roop, Rasa, Gandha, all five. But in Jala, there is Gandha is not present. Then we go to Agni. Then Agni also, Roop is there. Shabd, Sparsha and Roop is there. Rasa and Gandha are not there. First three are there. So slowly as we move, all of these elements are going from gross to subtle, from Prithvi to Akash. Uh, as we move from gross to subtle, less organs are perceiving it, or less qualities are being perceived. So the perception becomes less. So for Akasha, there is only one organ that can perceive sound. Only one quality that can be perceived. So only Shrotra can perceive it. So in this way, the first rule of Vedanta is that the cause is always subtler than the effect. Please write down whenever possible or later on. That is the first rule. And then the second rule is what we are talking about, the witness consciousness. So whatever is the witness consciousness, that is the drashta, the seer. And whatever it is seeing, that is what we call jadam. It has no life of its own. It has no movement of its own. So whatever we see is jadam. Yat drishyam tat jadam. Whatever we see is non-moving or lifeless, uh, and whatever is non-moving or lifeless, that will destroy at one time. That is another property also. So yat jadam tat nashtam, that will also get destroyed. And then whatever will get destroyed, that means it is not real because it appeared only for a short period. That means it has no reality of its own. Just like this body is dependent upon the five elements for its reality. When the five elements are not there, then the body is also not there. Right? Without the five elements, body cannot exist. So it is dependent on the five elements. So that is why it is not real. That term we call mithya. Right? So in this way, whatever is the second rule is what? Whatever is visible, that will destroy at some point or the other. And it is also inanimate, it is lifeless, jadam. uh, and whatever is inanimate, it will always get destroyed at some point in time. And whatever will get destroyed at some point in time, that is unreal. Uh, Yad drishyam, if we say in Hindi or Sanskrit, yad drishyam tat jadam, yad jadam tat nashtam, yad nashtam tat mithya. You can write in English or Sanskrit. So this is the second rule of Vedanta. The others will keep adding as we see the logic of all the different things. So now we are entering the Jagrit Avastha. What is this Jagrit Avastha? First three we have seen, there are Jagrit, Swapna and Sushupti. The Jagrit is the waking state when we are experiencing all the objects. Swapna is the dream state where I am only dreaming of objects. Actual object is not present. And Sushupti is the deep, deep sleep state when I am enjoying the joy of not experiencing any object. I am in totally relaxed state. So what is this Jagrit Avastha? Jagrit Avastha Ka. What is the waking state? Shrotra Adi Gyan Indriyani Shabd Adi Vishayi Cha Gyayate Iti Yat Sa Jagrit Avastha. So what is this Jagrit Avastha? Shotra Adi Gyan Indriyani. The five sense organs of knowledge. Shrotra Adi. Shrotra, Shotra, Tvak, Rasna, Ghan, uh, Shotra, Tvak, Shatra, Sparsharupra, Sukandha. So Shotra, Tvak, Ghan, Rasna, the five, Nasika, Kan. The five sense organs of knowledge are there. They are giving us experiences. Shotra adi in Gyanendriyani, Shabd adi Vishaischa Vyayate. So for any kind of perception, the sense organ will have to have a contact with the sense object. This is what is happening waking state. So in the waking state, actual contact of the sense organs with the sense objects is happening. So the shrotra will perceive the sound. That is its sense object. The shabda is its sense object. Then the twacha is the skin. It will experience touch. That is its sense object. Then then chakshu will experience, the eye will experience the forms, the forms, color, shape. That is its sense objects. Then the uh, tongue, rasna indriya, the tongue will experience different tastes. So taste is the sense object. And then finally, grana, the nose will experience different smells. So the grana for them, the smell for the nose, the smell is its sense objects. All of these exist as properties of different objects. We call them guna. All the five gunas are present in there in these sense objects, and so perception occurs. So this we will see later when we see how each of the sense objects and the sense organs are born out of the five elements or only, and that is why uh, because perception can only occur when there is something common. That is one rule we have to remember always. So perception will always occur. I will write this rule down for you later on because this is not in the series right now. But we can just remember it for now. Perception occurs when there is something common. So in the case of the Shrotra, the Shabda is its object. So Akasha is the element. From Akasha is born this Shrotrendriya or the hearing power, and from Akasha is also born the Shabda or the sounds, right? So in this way, there is a one-to-one relationship. So that we will see later on. So Shrotradi Gyanendriyani, all this experiencing is taking place. So in this way, Vishayi Gyayate, all the sense objects are being known. So iti yatsa Jagrita Avastha, that is called the Jagrita Avastha, that is the waking state. And there Sthula Sharir Abhimani Atma Vishwa iti Uchyate. So there it is the Sthul Sharir, the gross body, which is considered to be as the I. I think of myself as the gross body. Sthul Sharir Abhimani Atma or Vishwa Ityuchate. Vishwa means all around. That means all the sense objects are being known, whatever is around. Right? So this is the waking state where experiences are happening. So if we take like the eye is seeing something, right? So when we go to the dream state, the object is not there. So we can only listen to a recording. So it is like a VCR, a video recorder, and a video player. In the dream state, only the video is being played. And here all the video recording is being done. So all the sense organs are recording all the impressions around us, whatever we can see. Right? So there the I think of myself as the Sthul Sharira Abhimani, right? So in the Jagrit Avastha, in the waking state, I become a Sthul Sharira Abhimani. That is my ego thinks of itself, I as itself as the gross body, right? And of course the subtle body and the subtle body and the causal body, the Sthul Sharir, Sukshma Sharir, Karan Sharir, they are all there. In the waking state, all three are present. All three are present. But the special association is with the gross body, but the other two are present in the background because they cause all the movements that are happening around us. And so when this association is there, then we are able to experience all the objects around us and we move in this world by all the thoughts that are rising in our mind. They propel us. The thoughts make us go out to the different objects that we would like to enjoy, and we go out and enjoy all those objects. So that is the first state. Then next is the Swapna Avastha. So Swapna Avastha ka iti chet. What is this? Dream state, Swapna. So Jagrit Avasthayam yat drishtam yat shrutam tat janit vasnayaha निद्रा समये यह prapancha pratiyate sa swapnavastha. What is this swapnavastha now? In this what Jagrit Avastha, whatever we see or observe in the Jagrit Avastha, yat drishtam, yat shrutam, whatever we see and whatever we hear. And that includes all the functions of the remaining sense organs also. Whatever we smell, whatever we taste, whatever we touch, all of that, all those experiences that we experience in the waking state, that janit vasanaya, from that certain thoughts or impressions are formed in our mind. Then nidra samaya, at the time when we go to sleep, yap prapanch pratiyate, the world that is created, that is called sa swapnavastha. So I'll explain this. That is the dream state. So in the waking state, we have observed all the objects. We have seen different things. All of those, they are stored in the mind. Then certain impressions, they come together to create a visual world within us. So in that world, in the dream state, we are creating a new world. In that world, what is existing? Only the mind. So in the dreams, in the waking state, the mind is there, the sense organs are there, the outside objects are there. But in the dream state, the mind itself becomes all the sense organs and the sense objects. It is the mind only that is creating a new sense organs within our dream state. So in that dream state, the mind gives us a new set of sense organs. There are indriya, there are sense organs, there are the jnanendriyas, there are the karmendriyas also in the dream state, but these ones are not there, right? So one of your very tasty food is coming near you, and when you're sleeping in very deep sleep, when you're in a sleep, when you're in a state of dream, that you will not experience. Your mom is calling you, do you want to have food? And you don't know. So maybe she'll have to shake you up. So then you are awake, then you're not sleeping, right? So in this way, so in this way, all the impressions that are happening are sorry, power outage. So in this, all the impressions that we take up, they appear in the dream. So in the dream, there is what we call also a mixing of all our impressions. So we see a person going, and then we see an elephant in the dream. It might be a person having a head of an elephant or some other similar mixed up shape, right? So all that we see is all a mix of all the impressions. That is why in the dream state we observe a lot of other things that we have not seen actually in the waking state, because they represent a lot of other things that we have experienced as a mixture. One experience is mixed with another, and then other things. What are the other things we experience? Some of that is, some say that I experience the future, but that is not the case. I might see something like someone is bullying me, and I get so angry I want to smash his face, but I'm not able to do it because he's really strong, right? So in the dream state, I might imagine that I've gone and fought him or maybe roughed him up, and it might happen in the future also. But that does not mean I've seen the future. It only means it is I am seeing something that I myself have projected. It is the projection of my desire. So something I thought during the waking state, that also can appear in the dream state, right? And then some say they have actually seen the future. That may be extrasensory perception. That is not dream, right? So that is also another interesting topic in extrasensory perception. What is that? No one is seeing into the future. You are able to track into the future the potential things happening around you, and from that you are able to make a mental calculation which is faster, much faster than if you to write things down or calculate using a notepad or a calculator. The mind works so fast, you cannot tell. So by that, the mind is able to calculate this thing is going to happen. So that is what happens in that state when you experience something that again actually happens in the future. That means your mind is sharp and functioning and is able to calculate the possibilities that this is what is going to come. But things can always change. When a human being makes an effort and he knows something bad is about to happen, or he knows something bad can happen because there has been some negligence, you can always correct it or make some changes to your routine so that that thing doesn't come up and worry you in the future. So whenever we go into this sleep state, Swapna Avastha, then we go into the state where we are able to relive. We are able to relive. So that time my recorder is playing, right? Just like I've recorded something, we all have, memories put up on Facebook and Instagram and all. So all these, we are reliving those memories. We have recorded them, put them up there, and we are able to relive. But our mind is such a fabulous instrument. It does not have a limitation, 5 GB, 10 GB, 100 GB, where the space will run out. It is able to record the video of all scenes right from beginning to end from so many janmas. All stored up deep in our subconsciousness. Someday, sometime they will again rise up to the hood, but they are all there. So that is the capacity of the human mind we have. It is almost limitless, we can say. Uh, right? But why we don't remember certain things? Some people say, how can we say we had previous janma? I don't remember anything of the previous janma. Right? So what happens again is in the mind, tomorrow we won't even remember half the terms I taught you in Tattwabodha class, or even a lot of other things like a week ago, what did I have for food? I will not remember. So how do we expect to remember something of the previous janma? Sometimes some kind of impetus will act, some kind of we call it impression comes, some kind of experience comes which reminds us. Like I said, I gave the example of a favorite food, let us say a khichdi, which my grandma used to make, my nani ma used to make. And then years later, I know the recipe and I mix. So that khichdi or that porridge or whatever you call it is a mixture of certain ingredients. If you keep all those ingredients separately, that experience will not come. But once you mix them in a certain fashion, that experience will come again. And with the making of that food, all the memories of that time that you had when you first your grandma fed you that porridge, then all will come flooding back to you, right? So that is how old memories function, and that is also sometimes some purva janma memory also gets activated, and we are able to experience that in dream. So a lot of things we experience in dream, we might not have experienced in this janma, but maybe in a previous janma. Some say that I've never experienced in this janma, but it will always have been experienced sometime in our some previous life. But usually, mostly whatever is you would know, most of you when you have dreams, they are about certain fears that we have, certain doubts that we have, certain things we really want to do, certain deep desires that we want to do, certain places we are really eager to see. Their dreams are always about those. uh, so always they will represent the Swapna Avastha about the thoughts that are most uppermost in our mind, right? So our mind has different layers, right? Lots of deep layers. So whatever is fresh will remain at the top. So mostly the what you experience during the day, something that agitated you the most, that will remain in your memory, and that will probably come to the front in during your sleep, right? So there all the thoughts are coming and creating a new universe for you. So it is clear, if we try to relate this, uh, we can understand that just like this sleep world is like dream world is unreal. Similarly, this Jagrit Avastha, the waking state also, here also the uh, this is also like created by another mind. What is that mind? We call that Ishvara. All of us are thoughts in the mind of Ishvara. He has created us according to our vasanas. All the vasanas that are there, according to that, different jivas are created. Just like we, according to our vasanas, create different jivas. The tiger in the dream is also me. The person running after the tiger is also me. The stick which is the gun which is using to scare away the tiger is also me. All of them is me only. Nothing is separate from me. Similarly, all of this world also Ishvara. Nothing is separate from Ishvara. Slowly, when we compare one by one, we will understand that whatever we see in the dream state, similarly, the waking state is also an extension of this dream state. In Mandukya Upanishad, all of these comparisons are done one by one to show that this thing, all the experiences of the dream and the waking state are similar. So actually, the waking and dream states are same only. They are not different, right? So there, uh, Nidra Samaya ya prapanch pratiyate, a whole prapancham, a whole universe is created by us, and that is, we are the creators and we are the experiencer only. So there, the subject and object become one. The subject object duality is not there. It is the mind only which is there. And that is the Swapna Avastha. So, what is the Abhimani there? Sukshma Sharir Abhimani. Sukshma Sharir Abhimani Atma Tejasah iti uchyate. So there the gross body is gone, right? The gross body is lying lifeless. It is not participating there. A new gross body has been created for us by us in the dream state, which is doing the experiencing. So there I am, what do I become? I, the Atma, the infinite Atma, the soul. I think of myself as the subtle body. So I become Sukshma Sharira Abhimani. Is this clear, this identification thing? Or I think of myself? Is it clear, everyone? Any doubts about this, or is it like sounding confused? Because we will have to hold on to this thought for many of our other future discussions. Is it okay? Nitin, George, Deepak ji, Keshav, any doubts?
No, Dad.
No? Okay. Okay, then so we'll continue. Keshav is saying yes. Does that mean you have a doubt or no doubt?
There's no doubt, with lot of things to absorb.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, whenever we go into any spiritual text, there are so many things we keep learning. So I will keep repeating them also so that we can,
Yes,
over a period of time, make absorb them as one unit. Because I tend to sum up the previous class also so that you can
yes,
connect to the whole thought, right?
right.
Okay, great.
Thank
Okay,
you very
so
much.
welcome, welcome. So great. So I think we will wind up for today because we have finished the Sukshma Sharir. So there just one word to be said, Sukshma Sharir Abhimani. The name for that, the technical name for that is Tejasa. Sukshma Sharir Abhimani Atma Tejasa iti uchyate. Why Tejasa? Tejasa represents energy. So only energy is functioning. A certain light is functioning. Our mind is that light. So through which that is experiencing. So the Tejasa, that energy itself is just creating this whole world within us. So Sukshma Sharir Abhimani Tejasa iti uchyate. Right. So I think we'll wind up for today. The time is up. We will continue more into the next class. Then we'll start with the next topic. And continue. So I'll just wind up for today. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Purnamadav Hari